natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. In whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. In whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Higurashi no Nakakoroni. We are at the final arc, and we left off on an epic moment, and we've forgotten about that. Hey, Danielle! I'm so sorry I missed you today. I heard from Memphis that you stopped by. I slept through it. I was so tired, and I forgot to... I am I hydrate now. I hope you had a good time. My God, we are in the home stretch. Think a real trip out to DC sometime? Fuck yeah. Good. As you should. It's very pretty in the... I don't know why I'm not angry. Face. It's very
Always
pretty in the
angry
spring,
face in the
especially during cherry blossom season.
Yeah, I was about to say that you have cherry blossoms, don't you?
We do. We have festivals for
hate
cherry
you.
blossom. I haven't been to it in a long time though, because fuck COVID. But
I mean, yeah, understandable.
So yeah, last time we got a shit ton of lore dump. We got all of like creepy girlfriend's backstory. We got a lot of Japanese history lessons. We got poor
Yes, we did.
old man being torn to shreds with his ideas.
Oh yeah,
Being
That was
shit
actually
on.
kind of sad.
That was really
That was
fucking sad. So creepy girlfriend decided she'll make him a god and make sure everyone recognizes what he was doing, I guess, or something. Also, there was murder at an orphanage beforehand, and then we cut to more current times, and Hanyu decided to fucking fight. So
Hell yeah,
they had
baby.
a epic showdown at the shrine with words. So without her knowing what the fuck is happening. So there was a showdown with God, aka Hanyu, and Hanyu's gonna get off of her ass and actually do something. So this is where we begin.
So perhaps we can actually have a miracle this time.
Yay!
Yeah.
Woo! So we didn't figure this out ahead of time. How? I think I'm not in the right alignment for Higurashi. Oh.
What alignment are you?
Oh!
Oh, the dark place.
Ah,
Purple place.
we get
Oh,
a I think we get a talking to by God.
Oh my
Maybe.
god.
Good
That
luck.
sounds
We're all counting on you.
terrible.
Fair enough. Thank you so much for stopping by. Get some rest.
This gives me vibes for a reason I can't explain of the beginning of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Oh. Oh,
I don't
God.
know if anybody else here has played that.
I have
but,
not, but I would not be surprised.
I haven't played Pokemon, so
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
never mind then.
Anywho, who should be narrating? Who? I don't remember who did it last time. I
I
think
have
it was
no idea.
between. I think it was around the circle.
Was it David?
I don't.
I will.
Okay, go for it.
Welcome. Welcome
Oh my
to the
God.
world of
Oh!
Okay. Welcome
This
to the
is
world
a
of
Pokemon.
Higurashi, Chapter 8.
Yeah, this is, I think, almost exactly the opening to the Mystery Dungeon games, except
Oh.
fucking with Higurashi instead of
my
Welcome to
God.
the world of Pokemon.
Oh my god, though. In this world, you'll be able to recreate the story from Hanyu's point of view. Your objective is to create the June 1983 ideal to you. You need to collect many different fragments to make that possible. However, Creepy's conviction is very strong. To overturn it, you will need a lot of effort and a lot of fragments. I'll warn you right now, it will be a slow and painful process. Hanyu went through it for over 100 years, and she even had to stop and give in to fate. Defeating Creepy's conviction will not be easy. The trial in this world will put you through as much pain as Hanyu had to endure. You may surrender, just like Hanyu did, after being emotionally worn down by the constant repetition of the worlds woven by countless fragments. When you feel like surrendering, you can end this game at any time. But if you do, the world revolving around your friend's fate will be limited to Onikakushi through Minagoroshi. By forgetting about this world and uninstalling this product, you will finally accept death. Just like Rika did. Your ideal June 1983 can be created by putting together 50 fragments that are scattered all over this world. To connect these fragments together, you'll need the right ones. There are 50 of them, which may be dizzying. However, this world isn't that merciless. To ease your pain, there will be a little help for you. When you choose the wrong pieces, your only ally here will give you a sign that is not yet to put those fragments together. As long as the sign remains, you won't be able to connect them. You might as well go look for different ones. After you put other fragments together, you might be able to connect the ones you couldn't put together earlier. When that happens, she'll let you know. Let's put those fragments together. Then you'll be able to join the others too. When you connect all 50, they'll become one big fragment. There, you'll be able to find your ideal June 1983. That's when the long-awaited Matsuri Yashi will begin. Before you peek at each fragment, why don't you line up all 50 of them first? Most of them require other fragments, so there are only a few you can actually look at. Let's try to find those ones first. To see the conditions for connecting fragments, just point the cursor at them. Before anything else, let's find the ones you can look at without any conditions.
Wait, is there going to be actual gameplay?
Gameplay!
Are we going to
think
get to
so?
make choices?
What?
God.
What?
This will be an extremely long and difficult trial of actual gameplay.
Oh!
But let me tell you again, Hanyu challenged this gameplay for over 100 years and gave up on it. If you believe in miracles in the same way your friends do, even if you don't live in the same world where they live, if you believe in them, welcome. Welcome to the world of Higurashi Chapter 8, Matsuyabashi Yashi. In this world...
Whoa.
blah, 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 blah.
That was-
I don't know what happened there.
We've had some bad Japanese pronunciations so far. I think that might have been the worst of them.
Yeah.
You're welcome. In this world, it'd be tough to see if you believe in the world that Rika and the others believed in. A miracle only happens when everyone combines their strength. The June 1983 created by Creepy is nearly indomitable. Oh, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
She gathered many people whose powers are beyond the average person to her side. Her backers being at the center of a national authority. Even if the 100 dice rolls all rolled ones, there wouldn't be even a chance to defeat her. In other words, a miracle is the only way forward. A miracle happens only when everyone combines their strength, and you are one of them. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm more than ready. The key to a long journey is not to press yourself too hard. Well, let's take it at a light pace. I'll work while drinking my usual wine.
Oh, fuck. Actually, ooh. Do I bring out... I kind of want to bring out some mead for this. Hold on. I need a proper...
Do it.
I'll be right back.
We getting fucking litty titty tonight.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Alright, let's fucking go.
Fucking
I need to fix
go.
myself up. Alright. I got some Orange blossom mead. Let's fucking go. Brimming horn meadery. Alright.
Shall we begin? We have all the time in this world.
What does that mean? Ooh.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Huh.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's look at these. Can't be connected yet. Okay. Oh.
Oh, well, that's one fucking way to show that we can't be.
Oh.
So Toko Hojo's detailed test result is required. Discontinue something required. Let's see if there are any of these that don't have a thing that says something else required.
Good idea, good idea. I think that they said we had multiple ones that don't need something to connect right now.
I hope so.
Wait. This fragment is required first.
Oh, that sounds promising.
Sorry for being late. I had an unusually large number of patients today. Thank you for coming, Lieutenant Colonel Ivan.
Here we
Sip of
go.
water at that moment.
I'm so glad I got some mead.
Hot photographer stood up suddenly and saluted when he saw Ivan come into the room.
Alright. Stop calling me Lieutenant Colonel. I'm just a doctor. I can't get used to military ranks. Can you call me Director instead? Understood, Director Ivan.
Oh my god. Hot photographer, of course, knew that Ivan didn't like to be called Lieutenant Colonel. Oh my god. Something. So it was something of a joke. They laughed casually together. On the other hand, Creepy looked rather fed up with it. She couldn't stand hearing the same joke over and over, and was even thinking about talking to Hot Photographer about it. But she didn't really want to hurt his feelings, so she simply never had the chance. Maybe it's because of how Hot Photographer pronounces it, but she keeps hearing Risa, the Lieutenant Colonel in Japanese. When she heard it that way, she kept hearing Ivan Risa every time Hot Photographer said it. When Creepy told Ivan about it, he had a good laugh. Today was just a simple meet and greet, and tomorrow was the actual meeting.
Murder. Hey, Juyeon. We're stopping murder this time. We're doing it. I got fucking meat. Let's go.
No murder. No murder. We're gonna stop the murder this time. Hot Photographer had already arrived, but there would be more inspectors from Tokyo at the meeting, waiting to hear about the progress that had been made.
Anyway, I heard the whole village is up in arms about the damn construction project.
I'm also up in arms. Look at these guns.
They should be up in my arms.
Oh my god. Oh, and then Ivan says this right after that.
You can say that again. I would love to be up in your arms.
Ayo. Let's go.
The village is in such a mess. I participated in the local municipal explanation meeting as an official, but the whole thing was alive with angry shouts and profanities.
After the basic Kinamizawa Dam project was announced, the village was consumed with uproar. The government retracted their plans for concessions rather early on. They made their aggressive stance clear. They didn't want the locals to take advantage of them by showing their willingness to compromise. However, that backfired horribly. As they had historical ties to the land, the government's actions only made their bonds stronger. Neither the government or the locals wanted to back down.
People from Hinamizawa are rather hot-tempered. Maybe because they're the descendants of demons.
It's not funny. That wild meeting lasted all night.
Oh yeah, it did.
I wasn't in anyone's arms. I feel your pain.
Well, that's just rude.
Really, it's not funny, Hot-san. So what's going on with the dam construction? Are they really going to submerge this village? Tokyo's applying their pressure to the situation too. Things might seem glamorous on the surface, but in truth, the supporters behind it are wavering rather hard. I hope their pressure produces effect soon. The whole village is buzzing with action from dusk to dawn, and I worry the villagers' minds are growing agitated. Sometimes I have to listen to my patients go on and on about their opinion on the dam construction plan.
Why do you even listen to them? You're too nice.
I have to. I'm a clinic director first and a research center director second. It's part of my job to listen to them. That's very nice of you. It's admirable.
No, he literally just said it's his job. I know the people in Tokyo will call off the plan sooner or later, but the villagers won't. So they have to live in fear that they might be forced to leave the land where they've lived for generations. Even if they're told to leave, they don't have money, and a lot of them are old. Maybe some wanted an increase in the amount of compensation they'd be offered, but the government changed its mind. I don't think it's possible for them to come to a peaceful agreement at this point. There are actually some villagers who were satisfied with the amount and were willing to leave. However, the Sonozaki family didn't want to change their stance against the issue. They are actually leading the villagers in a fight against the government. They're blaring announcement vans everywhere, and ads and flyers are attached to the circulation notices.
It's a serious matter for them. I guess I can understand. I hope the construction plan will be called off soon for their sake. Once it's called off, this village will become peaceful again.
I know that, of course. Things are moving right along in Tokyo, so please give us a little more time. Oh. Oh, now we get... Okay. Switching...
Huh?
I don't know.
Who did we switch to?
I don't...
I've heard the rumor from Tokyo that you're having problems finding a way to pressure the Minister of Construction. Is that right? Oh, I'm not sure, but I've heard myself that they're having a little problem with some of the details.
Creepy had powerful people supporting her, but they didn't control all of Japan. There were some things that they excelled in, but also there were things that they weren't too good at. Finding a way to put pressure on the Minister of Construction fell into the latter.
In all seriousness, though, we really won't be facing any consequences to leave this area because of the dam, right?
Of course not.
Requests.
I can guarantee that won't happen. It's just taking longer than we thought, that's all. So please, continue your research. We were told that if things can't be resolved peacefully, then we may have to use drastic measures. Drastic measures? What do you mean, Hotsan? You don't need to worry about that part, Director Ivan. Please, let us take care of it. That part and all the parts.
Damn.
Well then.
I see. Okay. Thank you for your work.
You know, the relationship is suddenly different than what I remember.
It's fine, Director Ivan. The dam construction plan will be called off. It's already been decided.
As Creepy giggled, Hot also laughed. However, Ivan couldn't understand why he was so funny, so he felt left out. Ivan only understood the meaning of those drastic measures when he examined a young boy he had never seen in the village before. Okay, John?
No. Remember, this is back before he came in. This is the minister's grandson.
Oh, shit.
It was them. It wasn't the Sonozakis.
Oh yeah, I thought we got that confirmed like last arc.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
Forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. Oh, that's it.
Okay,
Okay.
that's first.
It's required.
Satoshi Hojo must not be allowed to visit his sister at the clinic.
Huh. Declaration of war from ACAB.
The research needs to have stagnated. A bat to be
Oh, goddamn.
required.
I'm hoping that's the ant.
Wait, is this the same? No.
No. Group physical exams are very meaningful for our research. Although it's for certain age groups, we can examine many of the Hinamizawan residents at the same time. It's a perfect cover for a research center. Also, because of several arrangements, we have a monopoly on villagers' corpses.
Damn.
I can perform autopsies on them too. There certainly wasn't any environment this rich an opportunity for those in the medical field. Our follow-up on the work of the late Dr. Takano is going smoothly. The amount of data he compiled is absolutely astounding. He truly was an incredible researcher.
Excuse me, Director.
Oh, creepy-san. Thanks for your work.
We just received the rest of the test results from Tokyo. Here they are.
Thank you. It's getting interesting, isn't it?
I'm glad we can share this joy.
Ripa-san is my assistant, who was sent from the self-defense force.
Oh, double up.
Were there two? Oh my god.
That was weird.
No, we don't need two of them, please. But she's far from the image I have of the SDF officer. Just like her research has been concealed, maybe her identity is being concealed too. I'm sure her name is an alias as well. I'm just a doctor and a researcher. Without Creepy-san's support, it would be impossible for me to manage this institution. She's a pipeline to her clients in Tokyo, my assistant, as well as a researcher who is an expert on Hinamizawa syndrome. Her assistance is absolutely necessary here. The more I think about it, the more I feel like this should have been the Takano Institute rather than the Ivan Institute. She should have been the director. But that was explained to me when they asked me to take this position. My client wanted a civilian to manage this place. They searched for a person who met their requirements, and there I was. I became the director. I have a feeling I'm just a puppet on their strings. But I won't just sit here and do nothing. I was asked to research a rare disease. I am a researcher. So of course I'm excited about that. My client's goals may be different, but I'm out here out of the desire to unravel the mysteries of Hinamizawa syndrome, and be the first person to uncover a new mystery for mankind.
We have all this data that suggests the existence of a parasite as the cause of the syndrome, yet we still can't find factual evidence of the culprit microbe itself.
It's true. I thought we'd find it easily if we used an electron microscope.
Irises are too small to see with a regular microscope. So the invention of the electron microscope was a dramatic advancement in the world of medicine. However, it is very expensive, and there's no way for a normal doctor to acquire one. The late Dr. Takino said an electron microscope could find the cause of the disease, but it seems his theory has been proven wrong. Even Creepy-san was hoping an electron microscope would find it. She was disappointed when she didn't uncover anything after all the autopsies she performed. Research seems to be having its first snag. It has actually stalled our work for several weeks now, so we need to think about where to go from here.
Which means they're either smaller than microscopic, or maybe there's something wrong with the specimen itself.
What do you mean?
For example, as you know, wild mice have tons of fleas on them, but you can't find fleas on dead mice. That's because when the mouse dies, their habitat dies as well. So, this is backwards. Fuck. So if the host dies, the parasite's world will end too.
It's right. Just like you won't find a living human in a post-apocalyptic world.
Therefore, we just have to look into the earth before it ends, right?
That's true. However, we need to think about human rights. It's hard to look into a brain while the patient is still alive.
Examining a living human's brain. No matter how you sugarcoated it, that bore a very grave meaning. From a medical standpoint, it's necessary. But we have rules and morals in this world, and we have to advance medicine within such boundaries. There was a time when I was studying lobotomies for the betterment of mankind. I don't think I was wrong. However, could I ever be forgiven under our ideas of ethics? I don't know. One day, my judgment will be handed down by the devil. Whether I'm guilty or not, I have to accept it. As I reflected upon my past, I heard a voice. It was Creepy-san's. It was very clear and simple, yet it struck me with surprise.
Understood. Let me prepare a world on the verge of death.
Well then.
What?
I'm startled, for good reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes the phrase advancing medicine bore the whisper of the devil, tempting us to accept sacrifices. I heard that devil whisper. The voice of Creepy-san.
It's not that
That's kinda-
difficult.
That's kind of doubly fucked up, given some of the World War II history they didn't talk about in this.
Mm.
Because
Oh, yeah, definitely.
the Japanese did do that,
Yeah.
and it went bad.
Yep. It's not that difficult. I just have to find a Hinamizawa resident who is about to die, that's all.
Just.
But even if they're about to die, who would be brave enough to provide their body for research while still alive?
Don't worry about that. If they're dying anyway, we're just going to put them to sleep a little sooner. On paper, of course.
The patient would be legally declared dead, even though they're still alive. And we perform an autopsy, while they're still alive.
That's impossible. Besides, if we perform neurological surgery, we have to do a circular incision on the cranial area. Their family will notice the marks for sure.
And that's where we come in. I'll have the mountain dogs look for a patient at the local hospital that matches our needs immediately. All you have to do is wait with a knife and a fork in your hands. I'll bring your meal right away. Damn.
Creepy girlfriend is my partner. There's no question about that. But I just can't trust her for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's her extremities. As a
Extremities.
researcher, with contrast largely with mine. But are we so different? I'm here simply waiting with a knife and a fork in my hands, just as she told me to. I just don't want to witness such a gruesome scene, that's all. What she's preparing for me now is exactly what I want. Who's the hypocrite? Not her. It's me. How can I say I'm different, knowing what I've done in the past? I perform lobotomies without patient's consent, despite it being surgery that might affect their life forever. How is that different than what she's doing? I've never doubted my past achievements. However, when I look at her, I start to feel unease. Creepy-san is talking to Okonogi-san on the intercom in my office. I'm sure she's telling him to come over so she can explain to him what they had just discussed. I'm simply watching without stopping her. I begin to reflect upon my past, to remember why I chose to become a doctor.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, she's like, we'll get you people who are about to die so you can lobotomize them. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, another one.
Okay.
Oh, it's outlining the ones we've done in blue. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, is it?
So are we just going to go through every single one of these?
Yes.
Is that what the deal is?
I don't know.
I feel like it's a yes for
We
that.
shall see.
Because remember in the little monologue, first thing,
Yeah.
whatever you call that? It did say it's going to be very boring, very painful, and you may want to quit and uninstall.
Oh god.
Alrighty. Well,
The forecast said there was a chance of rain in the evening, but I didn't think it would rain so hard. We decided to wait at an abandoned bus stop for the rain clouds to clear.
Oh!
What the hell are
Is
we?
this when Rika and Akasaka met?
maybe. Yeah.
Oh
But I
no,
said
wait.
we.
Uh,
No.
I mean, the title of this
No.
one was
Okay, so this
Jiro
is-
Tomatake.
Yeah, so this is
So I
okay,
guess
hot
it's them
photographer.
on a date?
Maybe. First is you.
I'm
Yep.
sorry, creepy son.
Oh, don't be, hot son. I knew it would pour, so don't worry about it.
Creepy Sun giggled. Although she said the weather might change suddenly, I dragged her out here. I feel stupid for making her come along and ending up ruining her precious day off. I have to go back to Tokyo tonight, so it'll be a while before I can return to Hinamizawa. I didn't want to spend my last day at a cheap hotel in Okonomiya, so I asked her to go for a stroll.
It's just. I'm really sorry.
She teased me for a while, but only a little. She wasn't actually enjoying driving me into a corner. That's just her way of communicating, and I find it very charming. I think I've become captivated by her. But on her part, I'm just an auditor from Tokyo. That's why she's just being nice to me. And it's definitely not because she likes me personally. So I feel like I might have used my position to drag her out here, and that makes me a little depressed. I probably should think the slight fever I have is due to nothing more than a cold. But she was the type of person who made it clear when she disliked something. She wouldn't say so directly, but she would use all the kinds of indirect expressions that meant the same thing. So I want to believe that she's out here because she might be even a little bit attracted to me. I shook my head and as I frowned upon my selfish thoughts. She chuckled as though she knew what I was thinking. I felt myself starting to go red after that.
You're a mysterious person, Hudson. I bet women don't leave you alone, huh? So why are you hanging out with a weirdo like me?
Weirdo? No way. You're fascinating, creepy son. Actually, I feel bad making you spend a day with someone like me, especially while all my clothes are still on.
Of course, but I've decided to devote my life to my work, but life is too dry with only that. I need to switch gears once in a while. Besides, communicating with the opposite sex is good for the brain. The brain.
Yes, the brain. Indeed. It's all good if I manage to help you clear your head.
Don't you feel refreshed just being with me?
She gives me an impish smile that makes my heart skip a beat. I tried hiding my embarrassment so she wouldn't notice even my ears going red.
Of course, when I'm with you, I do feel refreshed, yeah. Besides, if you learn about avian photography.
That what they're calling it nowadays.
I'm sorry. It's really hard to
The avian photography
It's
in that
really
voice.
hard to have a sexy voice going on for avian photography and Tomatake stuttering his way through trying to get to know her. I'm doing my best.
Now I just
You're
realized
doing
that there's a
great,
phrase
you're
I
doing
need you to
great.
say eventually after you're done with this. In that voice.
Okay.
I'll gain
What?
a buddy to share my hobby with. So, next time, oh, I'll bring my old camera. It's really expensive to buy a new one, you know?
Okay,
Alright,
okay.
wait,
I
let me flip.
need in that this happened before. In that voice. Shillelaghing the breadstick, if you know what I mean.
Ooh, I would love to do some shillelaghing the breadstick, if you know what I mean.
I gotta clip that for Joel later. Oh man. Thank you. I would love to learn about the avian photography that you're so intrigued by. Wink wink. I'm looking forward to joining you on a stroll next time you go. So I don't need to buy a camera, do I?
No. Try with my old camera first, and if you enjoy it, then you can buy one for yourself.
Hey Fies, how you doing? Welcome.
I'll send it to you when I get back to Tokyo.
Thank you. Then I'll have you critique my photos when you come next time.
Sure. I can hardly wait to see your photos.
They'd be nothing compared to yours. It'd be my very first time doing it, you know. Mm-hmm.
Lewd.
Yep.
While she keeps her cool and smiles, all I can do is blush and scratch at my head. Am I being conceited? I can't help but think that Creepy-san likes being with me. If it's mere flattery, I don't think she'll come along this far. Oh, no, no, no. Taking one's flattery seriously is the mistake I always make. I should assume that she's attracted to me.
Wow.
Oh, Tomatake!
Right?
I
He's
know you're
he's
doing
fucked.
your best, but
Yeah.
oh no.
By the way, isn't this the first time we've been alone like this?
Yeah, you're right. Usually the director or some other research staff's around.
I don't know anything about you. I don't know exactly what you do in Tokyo, or what you've done in the past. I wonder what you do in the self-defense force.
I was an instructor for a while, but I hurt my eye when I was injured. I can live life normally, but they made a
Oops.
big deal out of it, and now all I do is desk work. Desk work.
Creepy son giggles, saying that I must have done something silly to cause the injury.
When I helped PR with their magazine, I became fascinated by photography. Cameras have the power to make people happy. I bet you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's true. Since I started to take pictures, my life has been a lot happier.
How can a camera make someone happy?
Well, a camera takes a snapshot of a moment of life. So, of course, you want to capture a moment that's filled with happiness, right? So you look for happiness through the viewfinder, and as you search, you realize your everyday life is actually filled with happiness.
For example,
Yeah, this is a continuation. They didn't finish though.
makes sense.
For example, they're very inconsistent with their
Yeah, they
punctuation.
really are.
For example, a dandelion sprouting from the crack of the asphalt is just a weed in busy life. But when you look at it through the viewfinder, it's a gift to let you know that spring is approaching. You capture it, you put it in an album. Every time you open the album, you remember the happy feeling you had when you took the picture.
This is just him talking about what he likes now. I dig it.
Yeah. So you always feel that way when you take your pictures.
Sure, I don't have ambitions of taking artistic photos or capturing a dramatic prize winning moment. That's not important to me. I want those moments we don't notice, and helping us recognize these little moments of happiness is the greatest thing about cameras to me. So I'm really glad to be able to see Hinamizawa through my viewfinder.
Hmm.
I wonder what she thinks about all this, honestly.
Yeah.
Don't know. I have a tendency to go overboard when I talk, but most of the time, Creepy Son playfully twists my words right back at me. So it's very unusual for her to listen to me like this. Creepy Son sat down next to me and tried to fiddle with my
Is that
camera.
what they're calling it these days?
Dick jokes.
Mm.
I don't know how much of an impression I made, but I think she is indeed interested in cameras. I was expecting her to tease me like usual, so I'm happy to see that this is her reaction to my camera.
Do you want to try?
Do you think I can?
It's easy. First, you just need to learn how to focus and press the shutter. Why don't you hold it? Oh, don't ever touch the lens, though.
This isn't easy.
Since she seemed to show an interest in cameras, I wanted to take a walk around Hinamizawa and take some pictures of the scenery. But unfortunately, the rain doesn't seem to want to stop. But she was still having fun and kept taking pictures inside the bus stop. So the first set of pictures she ever took were odd things in that dark little building. Since then, every time we'd meet, we'd end up walking around the village with our cameras in our hands.
Okay.
Okay, relationship progressing? Question mark.
Honestly, I like seeing couples that share each other's interests and shit.
Hmm.
We have no choice but to support this. Ooh, those are ones with Satoshi. Can we see any of those?
Oh, there's one.
Wait.
Oh hell yeah, baby!
Oh, let me make sure. Let's go from let's go top and then bottom, or let's go like
Oh
from
damn!
rows.
There's even one. It looks like the top right one even has fucking Satoshi in his new in his baseball outfit. I don't think we've seen that spread before. But yeah, by all means, let's do this in a semi-orderly fashion.
So the dam construction will bring in new jobs, revitalizing the local industry?
That's not what we're saying.
Who the hell gave you permission to build a dam here?
You squeeze tax money from us, and this is what we get in return. Who do you think pays your salaries, huh?
Ah, government. I see now.
Yep.
Look, we're trying to explain to you.
We don't want to hear your excuses. We want you to know when to bring stop to construction.
You're useless! Bring the Minister of Construction here. He'll get to the bottom of it.
Shut up, you yuppie.
Hey, you're paid with our tax money. So why the hell are you talking down to us from up there? Come down here and let's talk face to face.
The auditorium is filled with angry shouting. The sign at the entrance says Hinamizawa Dam Construction Explanatory Meeting. Every time the official on stage tried to say, well, anything, the citizens packed into the room silenced him with their shouts. Trying to ignore them, the official continued to explain the pros of the dam, but that just further infuriated them. Between the stage and the citizens, there was an open area where the police squad is standing by. If they weren't there, the citizens would jump onto the stage and start a riot. Which is the plan for the future. I'm watching all this from the back of the auditorium. It's obvious to anyone that they're being swallowed by their anger. They become filled with a bloody red rage. The anger that came from a certain purpose becomes a purpose in itself, and it creates a vicious cycle, where anger leads to more anger. Anger is a necessary emotion for humans. People face many difficulties in their lives. Anger gives them the motivation to fight and conquer such difficulties. Therefore, anger is an essential part of life itself. So I would never reject anger itself. However, anger like this, that goes far beyond normal, makes people forget their purpose. It's no longer an essential part of life. As the blood rushes to their head, a person can't even remember what they've done. They go out of control. Such emotions are very painful, sad, and difficult to endure. I can clearly see the villagers who live alongside us turning into demons. Understands the rules of the human world. The power of an individual can't be compared to the power of the government. To be able to fight, an individual needs to become a part of a larger, unified power. But to steer that unified power in the right direction is extremely difficult. The cycle of anger leads to more anger. Not anger that helps you live, but anger that exists only for anger. It's just like being a demon. And this emotion is capable of violently rousing us from our long, peaceful slumber. Everyone is immersed in their own anger. We leave peacefully with the villagers while we slept quietly. And now we've awakened. And it's like the world is trying to return to that age where demons were said to rise from Onigofuchi swamp. I began shouting at everyone to calm them down, but my voice can't reach them because of the vicious cycle of anger. Even so, I'll continue shouting, hoping even one of them will hear my voice. Because if I don't do anything, the demons may awaken. The demons that went to deep sleep may reawaken because of this commotion. Then, all of a sudden, the atmosphere changed. Looking up, I saw that the angry exchanges between villagers and those on the podium had devolved into confrontation between the villagers themselves. What's going on?
Shut up! Those are your reasons, not ours. Don't pull us into this, you old hag.
Who the hell cares? The hell do you say, you bastard?
Hey, do you know who you're talking to? This is Oyo's son. You got some nerve, huh? Who the hell do you think you are? Oh, damn.
Yeah, shut up, Sonozaki. So what? I'm Hojo. Get your goons away from me.
Oh, man. Her dad sounds exactly like her uncle.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Fuck.
Yeah. Hey, Hojo, you dare say you want the village to be submerged? How much are they paying you?
Shut up, you old geezer. Listen, there are plenty of poor people in Hinamizawa. Not everyone is rich and has fields all over the mountain like you do. I'm satisfied with the compensation from the government. They've even offered to provide us with public housing. Yet you're ruining everything, you assholes! Don't pretend you're the same as us. If you want us to fight with the government, why don't you fight by yourself? Then who's going to pay? You? I'm poor and have 2 kids at home. I was planning to start a new life by leaving here in peace after getting compensation from the government and finding a job elsewhere. But you, since when did you represent me, huh? Do you think you're that important or what?
Hey, Hojo! How dare you betray us? Then get out of this village!
Sure, I'll be happy to. But you're gonna pay what I'm entitled to, right? You're gonna pay me every yen of the compensation I was gonna get from the government. Even if I wanted to leave the village, I don't have the money. You're gonna pay me, I'll leave straight away.
Yeah, that's kind of the fucked up things.
Yeah.
Too
Hojo is
poor to
right.
move.
Yeah. Hojo is right. There are plenty of residents who are willing to leave. You 3 families shouldn't drag us into this.
Hell is this? Who just spoke? Come on, who was it?
If you want to stay, then stay. We have the right to leave, so don't interfere.
That's right. Back the hell off, you damn Sonozaki hag.
Ah. Of course, we'll compensate the people who support the dam construction plan. We most certainly will not steal the land from you.
Shut up, government dog. You trying to divide the village?
Die, Hojo! You don't deserve to breathe the village air. Hold your breath and suffocate to death.
Screw you, old hag. I'll murder your ass. Step up front, you damn hag. Hey! Stay out of this, you fat pig.
I think this is Oreo.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Oh,
Oops, sorry.
you're good. That was very good, Hojo. I haven't been this pissed off in so long. You'll get what you deserve. Look forward to it. Get him, Hojo. The government has to provide us new jobs, shelter, and compensation.
Hey, stop this violence! All of you, stop it!
Like hell, bring it on. Come and get some.
Everyone is being tainted with the bloody red anger, and I can only watch. The least I can do is to apologize for the tragedy that is about to happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is how things started. From this day onward, The Hojo family and the Sonozaki family will wage a feud against each other, and the Hojo family will become ostracized within the village. This marks the beginning of Satoko and Satoshi's life of tremendous hardship.
Sad.
Yikes.
Yeah.
How's the twist for the two that haven't played it? Which one?
Which twist? There's a lot of twists going on here.
Yeah, which one?
Uh,
Depression of a Shinto priest.
that need required.
The
Game
game
board
board must be set up.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Let's get back to required.
Required.
Okay.
Hey, Satoshi Hojo.
Satoshi, good boy, let's go. When I asked Rika-chan, she said Satoko might have possibly gone up to the mountain behind the shrine. She's fond of going there.
The whole way why people were being killed and then coming back. Oh.
Oh, the thing that happened 2 chapters? Well,
Or wait, do you
chapters?
mean Creepy's or Takano's still being alive? Yeah.
Oh, that was thoroughly explained.
Mhm. Very thoroughly.
Mm.
The mountain is covered in trees, vines, and fallen logs, and she really likes the area. Any child would dream of having a secret base. And to Satoko, her secret base is the whole mountain. However, the mountains were undeveloped territory, making them a dangerous place that was easy to get lost in. As her brother, I'm a little concerned that she spends too much time on it. But maybe I should worry more about myself getting lost, since I rarely come here.
Oh, my precious soft boy, you're back.
Yeah.
I really hope we don't find that Satoshi is actually like an even worse murderer than we thought. Otherwise, I'm gonna feel real
he's a
awkward.
good boy.
Thanks for look tight.
The mountain gets dark quickly when evening falls. If I still can't find her, I should look for her someplace else.
Satoko. Satoko.
He's even quiet when he's yelling.
I'm yelling as loud as I can, but in the woods. It's the woods. My voice doesn't carry that well. According to Rika-chan, she has been making her secret base in this area. She goes up here alone to expand it. What does it mean by expand it? If it's a secret base, she must not want anyone to find it. Does that mean she's set up some traps? Considering that, I should have noticed the traps on the mountain before one got me.
Ah!
Suddenly, my foot sunk into the ground and snagged into something like a jump rope tied beneath dried leaves. There's some noise from up above, and then a big ball made of branches fell right next to me. That'd be one of the playful traps Satoko loved. If I wasn't so lucky, I'm sure the ball would have hit me in the head.
Oh my! Look who's here! It's you, Nini.
Satoko. No. This kind of horseplay is dangerous.
Did you not see the sign put up by the Forestry Service? It clearly states it's dangerous to come into these woods. My wonderful traps will welcome anyone who ignores that warning.
As her brother, I should stop her from doing things like this. But when I see her brilliant smile, I can't say anything else. I haven't seen that smile in some time.
By the way, Satoko, weren't you told to come home by evening since we're going out for dinner tonight?
I don't want to go. Why don't our mother and father go by themselves? If you want to, you can go with them, Nini.
Are you still angry at Father?
He threw an ashtray at me.
No, that happened with our previous father. Our current one hasn't done that.
He locked me out on the veranda. He didn't feed me lunch. He complained until I got... he complained I got him the wrong brand of cigarettes, and he slapped my face saying I shouldn't be a picky eater. And then...
She isn't talking about our current stepfather. Things about all of our different stepfathers have mixed themselves up in her head. Every time our mother remarried, we had to call a different man our father. The word father isn't a word that should be taken lightly. If you don't truly acknowledge a man as your father, how can you call him that? That's how much weight it carries. However, just to make things smooth and peaceful, I use the word father, even if I didn't want to. But it's too difficult for Satoko, young as she was, to do the same. Ever since Satoko was very little, she's been having trouble with all of our stepfathers. She never opened up to our current one. To Satoko, a father figure is no longer someone she can trust. It's true that our current stepfather doesn't have any experience being a parent, and so sometimes he gets rather upset with her. But ever since the incident where Satoko called the child abuse hotline, our stepfather regretted his mistakes and tried his best to communicate with her. Even my mother realized how much Satoko suffered emotionally when it was pointed out by the social worker. She's doing her part in trying to bring Satoko back into the family. But Satoko completely refuses to even try. It's understandable, though. Her childhood has been filled with misery. Satoko can only open up to me. That's why I have to be the one and only family member she can trust. Otherwise, she'll be all alone in this world. But a brother and a sister alone can't be considered family. Even if we don't get along now, if we continue to communicate, even in a small way, we may be able to become a real family someday.
Satoko, our current stepfather is getting nicer. He says he wants to make up with you.
That's news to me.
That's because every time he tries to say something, you run away. He wants to talk to you. He says he won't make you eat pumpkin anymore.
That's a lie. He said I couldn't leave until I ate my pumpkin, and he tied me to the chair. What did we lose?
Kayla.
Oh no. Oh,
Kayla, you're muted. Or wait.
No, it stepped away. Okay. Again, she isn't talking about her current stepfather.
Satoko, just come home with me, okay? Mother got a free dinner coupon. We don't want it to go to waste, do we? We already have the reservation, so we have to go today.
Why don't you go, Nini? I prefer staying home alone. Oh, hey, she said it! And she's good at traps. Satoko usually doesn't stay out planning this late. She knows we're going out, and that's why she's out here alone. Although I want to snap at Satoko, I controlled myself. Because she only has me. I can't scare her.
Please, let's go home, Satoko. You don't have to decide to go or not right now. You can think about it after we get there. Besides, without your help, I can't find my way down the mountain.
Nini, I've brought you here so many times already, and yet you still haven't learned? What am I going to do with you, Nini? Satoko holds out her hand. She often says she's embarrassed to hold my hand in front of people, but she's holding out her hand right now. I took that hand. Satoko's fragile hand. I have to protect her as her big brother.
Let's go home, Satoko.
Sure. Aww.
Aw. They're so sweet.
What I miss? Sorry, my cats were fighting.
Mostly, Satoko, or Satoshi
Thank you.
trying to get Satoko to make amends with their new stepfather, and Satoko keeps thinking about a previous stepfather instead, and eventually gets her to
Gotcha.
come down for dinner because by
Nice.
saying that he doesn't know how to get down from the mountain without her help.
Aww.
And so he's gonna protect her and try to get her to open up.
That's cute.
Okay, so a lot of
I think we just saw this fragment is required first, didn't we?
did we?
If scroll around here.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
My name is Satoko Hojo. But Hojo is my current father's family name. It's also Satoko Hatake, Satoko Yoshizawa, and also Satoko Matsuda. Because my previous fathers. I'm still not used to being called Hojo-san. If someone calls me Satoko, then I know that person is talking to me. Because Satoko's the name I've been using since I was born. I don't understand why my mother keeps getting remarried and divorced. If she's going to get a divorce, why does she get married? If she's married, why does she get a divorce? I've asked her before, but depending on the situation, her answers were different. When I asked her when she was married, she got angry. When I asked her after she got divorced, she cried. I don't understand the meaning of marriage, so I have no interest in drawing pictures of a bride in a wedding dress. I don't think I'll ever get married. I don't want to keep changing my child's last name.
Oh damn.
My teacher once asked if I liked my mother. I think it was when I was in kindergarten in Okonomiya. That was a very difficult question. Because sometimes I loved her very much, and sometimes I hated her very much. I couldn't decide. When my mother was nice, she smiled all the time. She made us happy. She thanked me for being her daughter. When my mother wasn't nice, she frowned all the time, treated my brother and me very poorly. She told me I should have never been born. My teacher asked me if I liked my father. That was a very easy question. Because I always hated him very much, no matter who he was. New fathers always treated me nicely at first, as if I was their real daughter. They always told me I could think of them as my real father. But they couldn't be my real father. Besides, I didn't even know my real father's face. I would have called them my father. I couldn't. That was disgusting. Right before divorce, my fathers always became very irritated with me. They treated me like a cockroach. They told me they didn't have money to feed me. They threw things at me. They locked me out on the veranda. I was told I could forget about them because that was all in the past. I think that was a different teacher from a different school. Maybe that's true. Because ever since Hojo became my father, my mother's been smiling. I haven't seen them get into a fight as I seen happen just before a divorce. They have little arguments here and there, but they don't lead to a divorce, and they always make up. And I'm sure they'll get a divorce sooner or later. There'll be the same old stuff in the family court, divorce settlements, a night flight, and child support. So who knows how long this Hojo will be my father. And that's why I don't even feel like calling him that. He also treated me well at first. But when I didn't call him father even after he asked me repeatedly, he became irritated. They'll get a divorce soon. When my father gets into this mood, a divorce is on the way. After a divorce, it's my mother's turn to be irritated with me. They should tell me she shouldn't have had me, or she can't be happy because of me. Why is my existence causing problems for my mother? I asked my brother, and he told me. If you have children, it's not easy to find someone to get married with. To my mother, remarriage is a very important job, so I can understand having children around will cause problems. I think I finally understand the reason why I'm a nuisance to her. I asked my brother something else. Are children hated by new fathers? Well, that's simple. That's because family members all have different roles. Mother's job is to love her children. Father's job is to love the mother. That means I'm a nuisance to both my mother and my father.
Oh.
My brother is more mature than me, so they don't look down on him as a nuisance. But maybe I am. No, I am definitely a nuisance.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
So now I know. Both my mother and father want me dead. Even if they kill me, they'll be caught. But that doesn't mean they won't kill me.
Oh.
If I were to look down the cliff and no one else was around, my mother and father would push me off for sure.
Oh no.
My father has
Oh
become
no.
abnormally nice to me recently.
The
He started to
Hojo
act
parents
out.
died by falling off a cliff, didn't they?
Yeah,
Mhm.
they sure did.
Oh
He started to act that way
no.
ever since I made the fake call. I now know for sure that's just a plot to kill me. So I won't let them trick me. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry! Lately, when I listen very carefully, I can hear a voice apologizing. Oh no. Oh.
He's hearing Hanyu.
Mm-hmm. The voice sounds similar to mine. Her mother must have been telling her that she shouldn't have been born. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I won't apologize like that. I'll live, and I'm going to strike back. I'll kill before I get killed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Damn, Satoko deteriorated quickly. Fuck.
Mm. There's your last mystery. Well, one of the last. Oof. Big oof.
Definitely
Mhm.
oof.
Mm-hmm. Wait, let's see. Here we go. Wait, no, we got that one.
I think we gotta just start trying these and see which ones let us in. Repetitive apologies are required.
Uh-huh.
This one.
Wait,
1979. This is here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's one introduction.
Uh, oh my
So-
god.
Who we killing?
well,
Oh, this is a year after the damn project? I don't.
This is 4 years before
1979?
Keiichi.
4 years before Keiichi, so 1
9.
year
And
after. Who dies first? Is it the Hojo parents that die first?
No.
Or is it the.
No, it's the construction
Okay.
dude.
Construction
Well,
manager.
no, it's the construction dude who dies first, who dies in
Then-
1978. But who dies who dies second, I guess. It's either
Okay.
Rika's dad, or it's either the
No, wait, no,
Faraday parents
wait.
or the Hojo parents.
79, 80, 81, A2, A3. That's 5 years.
Okay.
Wait, is this the murder of the construction dude?
Most probably.
Potentially, yeah.
Shit, damn it, shit. Manager? Manager, come on, say something. Manager.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
You idiot, he's dead already. Bling. A loud noise snapped everyone out of it. Someone dropped the shovel he was holding. The shovel was smeared with reddish-black blood. No, not just the shovel. All 6 construction workers' clothes were blood-soaked too. One of them cried out to the silent dead body of the manager. which was drenched in blood.
Manager. Oh.
Shut up! He's already dead. It was self-defense. Right? Self-defense.
Fight had started after the manager yelled at them for drinking beer inside the office. There were no drinking and no smoking signs everywhere. The manager harshly scolded at anyone who broke that rule. So it was the 6 workers' fault for disobeying. But they drank because they were stressed out by the anti-dam protesters. And that's why they said the things to provoke the manager. That's why they told him to step out. That others went along. The construction workers toiled hard and long hours. That's why they instigated the fight with the manager, to release their stress. They expected to just curse at each other or to end up in a wrestling match. But things escalated. Or to put it more accurately, the manager exploded all of a sudden. The manager had to deal with residents' protests as well. So he was under just as much pressure, or even more. But how he changed was not normal. The manager was calm at first, but he gradually became more aggressive. It was like he transformed into someone completely different. No, it was like he was possessed by something evil. The men who instigated the fight sobered up when they saw his behavior. Then, the manager picked up the shovel that was nearby, tried to smash his opponent's head in with it. He managed to avoid being hit, but if he didn't, his head would have been surely split open.
Damn.
The manager kept pounding on him with a shovel, even as he frantically tried to avoid the hits. But this time, the workers realized that it was beyond a simple fight, so they tried to hold the manager down. But the manager turned on them with a shovel too. One of the men tried to protect himself by crossing his arms above his head, but there's no way that would have blocked a shovel swung with such force. Blood splurted out, and the man groaned in pain. But this time the 6 men had realized the manager was not his usual self. This manager would try to bash their brains in, without hesitation. Since their opponent was using a shovel as his weapon, they had to find some kind of weapon too. One of them grabbed a huge hammer. Then the others realized they needed to find something as well. To restrain the manager in that condition, it was better to arm themselves.
It wasn't supposed to be this way. Ugh.
It didn't take long for the madness to infect the 6 workers. It was only a matter of time before they went from restraining him to lynching him. By the time they realized what had happened, the manager was already a lump of meat. His face was swollen, shreds of skin had been torn off, and his muscles and skull were visible too. Obviously, he was quite dead.
Fuck, he almost killed us, remember? If he hadn't attacked us, we wouldn't have fought him, right?
The leader of the 6, the one who instigated the fight, tried to bring the rest to his side, but nobody replied. And so, the leader became frustrated. He was the one who started the fight. The rest simply joined in. He was the main perpetrator. Maybe that was why he was feeling so exasperated. He sensed that he was the one at fault.
Don't just stand there like a limp noodle. It's too late. We killed him and there's nothing we can do about it. We're all murderers now. Buck up. You ain't thinking about turning yourself in and doing time, are you? Fuck you. I can't go to the slammer at my age. We're hiding it. We're hiding this corpse and pretending nothing happened.
Some of them knew he was on probation for an assault incident once before. So if he got into trouble with the law again, the punishment would be more severe than they could imagine. That's why he was trying desperately to find a way out. If he was alone with his manager's body, then he wouldn't behave this way. All he would have to do was hide the manager's body and pretend nothing had happened. But there were 6 of them, including him. They were partners in crime and witnesses too. If even one of them turned himself in out of guilt, he'd been in big trouble.
Yeah. But even if we hide the body, they'll find out sooner or later.
Instead, we should. Oh, go ahead.
Instead, we should just plead justifiable self-defense, and they might end up pardoning us.
Is that a specific plea in Japanese legal systems? Because I vaguely remember
Maybe.
that coming up in a Phoenix Wright game too.
Probably.
No idea.
Then again, anything in a Phoenix Wright game should not be taken as actual.
Oh, totally. It was just like a weirdly specific thing enough that
Yeah.
it stuck out in my head.
Don't be stupid. Look what we've done. Look at his face. Who would think this is the result of self-defense? His parents wouldn't even be able to identify him in this condition, you idiot.
But even if we hide it, everyone's gonna find out tomorrow morning when the manager doesn't show. It's hopeless.
What's hopeless is your damn brain, you shithead.
He slapped the other man in the face. The leader had such an evil look in his eyes.
Listen well, dipshits. We're all murderers, okay? Keep griping now and we'll all get slammed with 5 or 6 years. Just one of you try and blab. We'll all be locked up. Don't underestimate the pen. If you're prepared to be caught anyway, then run like your life depends on it. You can resign yourself to it later when it's time to pay the piper.
His visage turned more and more demonic. It was the same expression the manager had just had just a minute before. Was he possessed by the same thing that possessed the manager? The 5 men started to think that way. Now that they considered it, all the villagers on the anti-dam protest had the same expressions on their faces too. The real name of Hinamizawa was Onogufuchi Village. People said that wicked demons lived there, and sometimes they possessed people. The man couldn't help but to recall that exaggerated story, often told by the demonstrators. The man had swung that shovel after his expression changed to that one of demonic. There's no guarantee this man wouldn't do the same. In fact, he was still squeezing the hammer in his hand, glaring at everyone, threatening them. If someone suggested surrendering, he'd probably smash their head in with it.
I know. To make sure nobody betrays the rest, I have an idea. It'll make it easier to hide the body, too.
What is it?
We're gonna cut up the body into 6 pieces.
What?
They all wanted to object to the idea. Killing him was a serious crime himself. Dismembering the body would be too much. But if anyone objected, he'd be killed on the spot. So no one said anything.
Hey, CJ. This is definitely a team moment. Oh, God. We'll all cut him up together. Remember what the manager used to say? Teamwork. We're all in this together.
Oh my
Take the
God.
body part and hide it responsibly.
All in this together.
Oh no, don't high school musical
Reach
this
for
shit.
the stars
I had
and
no
I
idea.
don't know the words.
I've never seen High School Musical.
It's a great, I love it, one of my favorite childhood movies.
Oh, God.
And you just brought it into a murder.
Well, here you go. What do you think,
Your
huh?
childhood movie.
This way we're all equally guilty, right? I won't let anyone give themselves up.
The 5 men were all taken in by his ghastly face, and they could even feel the fear of the Onkufuchi demons creep up their backs.
Scary. Damn. That got intense.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
That escalated quickly.
Okay, now I guess we gotta find the next fragment.
Yep.
Uh,
Keep going. Actually, give me one moment. I need to step away, and I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Where's my BRB?
Now, since we found out more information, more than likely not the Sonozakis, unless it's, not, oh fuck, what's her name?
What are
Mion,
you guys talking about?
aka Shion,
Huh?
but actually Mion, whatever,
What's going on?
could have done
We're
it, which is understandable.
discussing. I asked Kayla whether we think that Satoka only murdered her parents or if she also murdered Satoshi.
Oh, gotcha.
Which-
Okay.
Because we
Potential.
did just witness the onset of her picking up Hinamizawa syndrome.
That's true.
And Satoshi's disappearance is kind of the only major unsolved mystery we have left, I think.
Hmm.
Unless I'm forgetting about something.
That's about right, as far as I can think of.
Like, as far as I can think of, just about everything is, like, revealed. It's just a matter of putting it all together and finding the path to our happy, miracle future.
Hmm. Yep. Let's see. Wait, where is...
Go back to the first one? No, the top left one.
Wait, where?
On the... No, never mind. Wherever that one was with Ivan. Because there's one that says Ivan's reminiscence is required, and I think that was what the first one we saw with Ivan was.
We haven't gotten the hospitalization.
Oh, the death
yet.
of the construction manager
Yeah,
is
but it
required.
also needs a
We got that.
hospitalization, which we haven't gotten
Yeah,
yet.
which we don't have.
Wait.
Help from the Queen Carrier. Yeah.
Help from the Queen carrier. What is... Wait.
I think next one.
Already got that one.
Yeah, Kyosuke Ivan's reminiscence is required. I think that's the...
Wait, Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There's
well,
one.
we can definitely see that one.
Yep. Oops.
I don't know what to say. I want to say something, but I can't think of the right words. I can only sigh.
Ah, oh, this is Kuma, probably.
Oh, probably. Akeb-san. Been looking for you. The section manager asked me about the wanted poster.
Be quiet. This is a place of rest.
Oh.
As Kuma-chan barged into the room, the old coroner quickly snapped back at him.
Sorry. The section manager asked me about the wanted poster for the suspect.
Ah, can you talk to Komiyama-kun about that? I need to speak to the coroner here. Could you tell him I'll be right over?
Okay.
Kuma-gai ran out of the autopsy room with the same haste he entered in.
Lively, isn't he? I'm sorry. Lively, isn't he? The old man would have slapped him for making such a fuss. He probably should go back too. The air in here isn't for people who aren't used to it. You're right. If I slack off too long, I might get slapped as well. Here in Shishibone, all the hoodlums cross the street when you pass through. Yet he's the only one, past or future, who's ever punched you for splitting your sumo wrong. I assume that's a mahjong thing.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
He really was a merciless man. I think he punched me more than my real father. That was acceptable in the 40s. Doesn't matter if he was your real one or not. If you looked up to him the same way, then he really was a father to you.
Oh, we get Akeb backstory.
Oh, my real father passed away in Nagoya. He was unlucky. If he wasn't given the order to move to a plant in Nagoya, he would have died in an air raid. If he could have rode it out another half a year or so, the war would have been over. I was sad, of course, but I was grown up enough by then that I didn't cry into the ground like my mother did. But people feel sadness in different ways. For some people, it comes all at once as an overwhelming wave. Others feel sadness gradually, over a long period of time. I think I was the latter. When he was alive, I only thought of him as annoying. In my mind, I even cursed him with questions about why he'd avoided the draft. As I thought my feelings toward him would always be the same. Then the war ended. As I saw families and friends being reunited with joy as they came back home from the front, it finally happened. I grieved for my father's death. Japan was filled with people who were sad and full of despair. I knew I wasn't the only one whose life ended up that way, but I remember I was very, very heartbroken. After the war, the nation completely changed. As a policeman, the environment I worked in went through sudden changes too. In order to forget my sorrow, the only thing I could devote myself was to my work.
At the time, I was in charge of busting people for buying rice illegally. I conducted spot checks on travelers in major train stations. And boy, did I find a lot of them. There was a fairly big black market in Gogura, and a lot of people came from as far as Osaka to buy it.
For rice. And you're stopping them? Okay.
Well,
What part about his name being ACAB confuses you?
The ACAP part, I have no idea what that means, and I've just
Oh,
written
what?
the entire time.
really?
Yeah. I've just rolled with
Kayla,
this the entire time, unknowing what it meant.
ACAB stands for all cops are bad.
All cops are bastards. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm. So we've been. Oh.
Yeah. That was a thing for the Black
Oh,
Lives Matter
yeah.
movement and whatnot.
Yeah, never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you
You're
know,
gonna ask him
Western
when you don't
Europe.
understand something.
I
You really
usually,
didn't
I
ask.
do, but you know how often that would happen if I were to do that, guys?
Then you'd learn shit.
I do, and things just, I'm very sheltered and don't know a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah. I will say that, Julian, I do make the joke that that's an insult to us bastards, being an actual bastard. Even though I did say that. But yeah.
Okay, you know what? Good thing to know. Damn. Okay. Well, after the war, Japan faced a chronic shortage in food supply. To those ends, the nation instituted a food rationing program by signing the Food Control Act. But the rations the government provided weren't even close to being enough to feed families. Therefore, people had no choice other than buying food and supplies on the black market. The government hardly had enough food for rations, but there's somehow plenty on the black market, and the dealers that sold it at outrageous prices, and some of them became quite wealthy. The Sonozaki family made their money through that black market, but that's another story. Another fragment. The government didn't bother arresting these dealers, for with their money they were able to buy off the top members of the police department. Instead, they decided to go after people buying the goods, and even confiscated the rice they bought by selling everything they owned.
Again, all cops are bastards.
Hmm.
Listen, I learn something new every day.
It's been a while since we had a real Kayla is sheltered moment.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, you see, it was its time. It was its time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Wasn't there a prosecutor who starved himself to death?
Yeah, there was. The prosecutor who vowed not to eat illegal rice starved to death. Wasn't it in 1947? That was horrible. He, a public prosecutor, proved it himself that people couldn't survive by adhering to the law. The prosecutor had grown tired of the government charging people with doing whatever they could to survive. He proclaimed that he was never going to buy black market rice again. In 1947, he starved to death when he was only in his mid-30s.
I wonder if this is a real story.
I'm kind of curious,
Probably.
you know?
Yeah, I'm looking this up. Hold on. Uh,
'Cause if it is, that's some fucking commitment.
uh, oh shit. Wait.
Oh, is it one of those stories that's real and is also worse than we could possibly have imagined?
No, wait a minute. Yoshitada Yamaguchi. 1913 to 1947. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. What the fuck? Hold on. Are you gonna... Where is it? Court judge. It was a judge, not a prosecutor, at least. Damn.
I think it's actually kind of worse if it's a judge.
A judge, and he got, tuberculosis? Malnutrition, then tuberculosis.
Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah. Apparently that was a thing. Damn.
The law prohibited people from buying black market rice. That was the only way to survive. In that case, was the Food Control Act a bad law itself? The death of the prosecutor, or judge, was seen as a desperate message to the government about the injustice of that law.
Without sanctions and post-war punishments don't kill the rich. Weird.
We rounded up people with bags of rice and lined them up at the temporary inspection point next to the station. It's like a military tribunal. We inspected their bags and confiscated everything that they bought at the black market. The women all cried. They sold everything they owned to buy the rice. They pleaded that if we confiscated the rice, how would they feed their starving children?
It doesn't make sense, huh? Yeah, they forbade you from going after the sellers. So it was absolutely unfair from the view of the people.
Everyone was on edge. If they heard a police inspection was set up at the next station, they'd jump off the train and run. We were aware of those people, so we set up several officers near jump-off spots in order to capture them. I remember chasing after women carrying several kilos of rice on them. Jeez.
That was when I first met the old man.
Man, I was surprised. Remember my father? He looked exactly like him. Oh, that's so sad.
Oh.
Oh, even. What I was about to say would probably be extremely insensitive, given that Flint is here.
Oh.
I really thought that maybe my father had miraculously survived the air raid in Nagoya.
Is this me or are you still talking?
I think it's you.
Yeah.
You know, I was chasing a man who was running away from the inspection point. There's no way for him to run with a heavy bag of rice on him. It's either he get arrested with the illegal rice or escape by dishing the rice that he bought by selling off his belongings. In other words, if a person was being chased by the police, that person can't provide his family any rice to eat. Of course I felt guilty about that. I knew people had to buy the rice to survive, so we had a tacit agreement to let those who ditched the rice or ran get away. So I always thought about the same thing as I chased them. Please throw it away. I didn't want to catch him, because I didn't want to hear him crying, pleading in distress. It was then the old man showed up. He looked exactly like my dead father. I was dumbfounded. Then all of a sudden, he punched me in the head. If father disciplines you as a child, you lower your head in apology. I was so happy to see my father alive that I couldn't hold my joy in. The old man said, "Let him go." When I heard his voice, I realized he wasn't my father, so I thought I'd arrest him for assaulting a policeman. But as a young man like me, who barely grown any hairs yet, it was no match for an older man used to fighting.
Hey, taught me a lesson. He gave me a good scolding in the middle of the street after I was all beat up. I wouldn't even listen to him, right? But something struck me then. I kept seeing my father in him. All I could do was listen.
Yeah, he was a ruffian, but he showed his guts. Like a real man. That's what made him such a great guy. You don't see men like him nowadays. He was a true example of a man from the good old times. Oh god. The good old times.
Despite my age, I still needed a father. I needed someone to look up to and show me what makes a man a man. When I think about it, I really did have two fathers. The old man was a father, a brother, and my best friend. But now, But now here he lies with his head, body, arms and legs, all dismembered. His right arm hasn't been found. He taught me how to be a man, how to enjoy alcohol, how to play mahjong, and with that right arm, he gave me a good beating when I did something wrong. But that right arm is still missing.
Do you have any suspects?
Yeah, of course. I swear I'll find the old man's right arm and pay them back for what they've done to him.
I'm running Hinamizawa from the shadows, and deciding this collective crime they like to call damn protests. The Sonozaki family. I declare war within myself. I already know who my enemy is.
No, you got it wrong.
Oh, buddy.
You got it
Oh,
wrong.
buddy.
uh, that's the reminiscence, but just in case. Not self-introduction, I don't think. Set. Candy, no.
Probably can do that one.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
I ran into Satoko while on my way to the grocery store for my mother. Satoko said she was going there too, so we decided to go together. After exchanging our shopping lists, it became easy to guess what the other family would be having for dinner. Satoko's family is having grilled fish and cooked vegetables. We're having a Salisbury steak.
My, that sounds so very good. I don't mind the grilled fish, but it's the vegetables I'm less fond of. I'm certain there's still plenty of pumpkin left from the other day.
Then I bet you'll be getting a lot tonight. Poor Satoko.
I don't appreciate knowing that pumpkin is going to show up on the dinner table.
Beep. You don't like pumpkin, no matter how it shows up.
Rika, you have some food you're not fond of, don't you? That's right, you don't like daifuku, cream puffs, or anything sweet, don't you?
It's not like I don't like those things. I just choose not to eat them. If I wanted to, I could eat sweets forever. I could even pumpkin pie, too. Nippa.
Oh, it's not fair that you aren't a picky eater.
Conversations like this are how I have fun. Stoko is my best friend. I usually don't like grocery shopping, but if I'm with Stoko, I can make it into an enjoyable evening stroll. Near the supermarket, there's grocers and other shops, forming a little shopping district. The grocery store is busy this time of day. All the housewives in Hamizawa gather here to shop. Satoko and I have different things to buy. We decided to do our shopping separately.
Welcome, welcome! Oh, Rika-jama, are you shopping for your mother? What a good girl.
Nippa! I'm a good girl who can go shopping by herself.
Wow, you really are a good girl. Here, I'll give you this.
There are several candies for the owner's occasional asthma attack inside of a sleeve full of change hanging. He picked out a sweet from there and gave it to me. It's my favorite flavor, strawberry milk. Put it in my pocket so I can brag about it to Satoko later. Get a lot of fun out of teasing Satoko and making her jealous. She always overreacts, so I never get bored when I'm with her.
What are you having for dinner tonight, Rika-chama? Ground pork.
We're making a Salisbury steak. We're gonna put flower-shaped fried eggs on top and draw pictures on them with ketchup.
That sounds like fun.
I enjoyed that conversation while filling my shopping basket. But then I overheard some women whispering. They're talking about something that's a little harsh. They're talking about Satoko.
How long do these village traders plan to stay here?
They should just leave.
They don't even have the guts to go shopping themselves and make their daughter do it instead.
The woman went on and on. Ever since the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family got in a huge fight at the explanatory meeting for the dam project, the Hojo family has been ostracized within the village, even though there were people who agreed with that family at the meeting.
Yeah.
First, there were a significant number of families in favor of leaving like the Hojos. But the main branch of the Sonozakis led a push to completely solidify the village's opinion, and as that tone of unified resistance grew stronger, the pro-evacuation family steadily grew quiet. Public harassment led by the Sonozaki and Kimiyoshis, two of the three families with powerful influence on the village, also played an effect too. The Sonozaki family made the Hojo family into an example, to ensure there would be no more pro-evacuation supporters. The ancestors of the village have lived there for generations, and the villagers also know that they themselves will be buried in this village, so this harassment had put a lot of pressure on them. Who was it agreed to make the Hojo family the leader of the pro-evacuation group at the explanatory meeting? Those same people no longer said anything, and they even joined in harassing in the Hojo family. The harassment they faced then became pressure from the entire village. The Hojo family is hardly wealthy, and they haven't paid the town council fees in a long time. When things were peaceful, nobody said anything about it. But now that the wind was blowing a different way, the Hojo family was asked to pay all their late council fees immediately. It wasn't an amount that they could afford, but the Hojos recognized a fight was being picked with them, and they responded to it. And so the Hojo family quit the town council, but that was only played right into the village's evil plan. Making an enemy of the town council meant facing vicious harassment. For example, the place the Hojos dumped their trash was a provisional dumping site established by the town council and waste management department. Under the council agreement, only council members could use it. But since the day Hojo family quit the village council, the trash bags were returned to their front door. Furthermore, all the bags were torn.
What the fuck?
On top of that, a sign went up in the hedge road near the Hojo family. It said private road, no trespassing. Only council members permitted. A stubborn old man stood and guarded the road, saying he could not let any of the Hojo family members pass through.
What the fuck?
I mean, yeah, this is government harassment.
Yep.
A private road is private property opened up to the public, so it just looks like a normal road. However, as private property, the owner can forbid anyone to pass through whenever they like. More and more. The village piled on vicious harassment. The fear of antagonism spread throughout the entire village, and people became afraid that if they supported the Hojo family, they'd go through the same thing. This made the Hojo family even more isolated. The grown-ups haven't even told their kids about what's going on, so Stoko isn't harassed in any way at school. Yet. But it wasn't hard to imagine she probably spent her days feeling so anxious she could hardly breathe. Even the woman whispering here aren't saying anything directly to Satoko. But it's not like she doesn't notice the muttering cold stares. When does this village become so cold towards her? As her best friend, it was very sad for me. Satoko's shopping experience is nothing like mine. When I say hello or buy things, I usually get treats or a discount. But that doesn't happen to Satoko. On the contrary, she's served last on purpose, and sometimes shopkeepers even pretend they don't hear her. Obviously, people don't want to have anything to do with her. Satoko had been weaving through the housewives crowd in the shops telling the fishmonger what she wanted, but she kept getting annoyed. She tried to keep her smile and pretended she doesn't mind, but I know. It was far too painful for her to endure. At that point, Satoko dropped her coins on the ground. Maybe her finger got stuck on something when she was trying to put the change back in her wallet. I ran through the crowd to help her pick them up. But as I did, I noticed something. Satoko dropped a lot of coins and is struggling to pick all of them up. But nobody is helping her. It's not just that. It's almost as though they're acting they don't even see her there. Shoko isn't expecting anyone to help her, so she's the one who dropped them. But there's so many people around, and not one is trying to aid her. Satoko, I'll help you.
I'm okay, Rika.
That reaction is all I needed to know how hurt she is. Furthermore, when I started to help Satoko, other housewives started to pick up the coins too. As if it's a natural thing to do. So they can only help if a shrine maiden in the Furude family does? If I didn't help, they would have disregarded her completely. And the fact that other people helped only because I did hurts Satoko even more. I grabbed the coins from the housewife without thanking them. I'd rather spit at them than do that.
Thank you very much, Rika. Everyone.
If you didn't thank them, people would talk about that too. Satoko forced out her words of gratitude. The housewife looked down at her with blank expressions. I can't stand this. I can't stand what Satoko's going through right now. If we're done, let's go, Satoko.
Sure.
I grabbed Satoko's arm and pulled her away. I was frustrated, sad, and bitter. What's Satoko done? Reality is just too cruel. Everyone loves me, but can I share that love with Satoko? Satoko must be wondering why people treat me so differently. I should have come shopping with her. Rather, I should have done her shopping instead. Satoko.
Oh, what is it, Rika?
I feel bad that you dropped your coins, so here's something that'll make you happy. I wanted to at least ease her pain a little, so I pulled out the strawberry milk candy I just received. But Satoko refused to take it.
That candy was given to you.
My hand froze. She saw me getting this candy.
That person wanted you to eat it. So if I did, it'd be rude.
Satoko turned her back on me and kept walking. Without even saying goodbye, she continued on to her house with her shopping bags in her hands. I really wanted to ease her pain, but I ended up rubbing salt in her wound. How could I call myself her best friend? If I could, I would have crushed the candy right there. Pain.
Strawberry milk candy is required.
Yeah, there we go. Make sure.
Funny that. Mian-san, your hand is here! I heard the housekeeper's voice. Our house and the front yard are huge, so unlike normal houses. Ringing a doorbell or yelling my name repeatedly, asking to play won't work.
Okay, thank you. Who is it?
Rika Furude-chama.
Oh, finally. Can you tell Granny that Rika-chama is here? I think she's on the porch. I'll get the watermelon.
Granny received many beautiful watermelons from somebody, so she wanted to share. I just called the Furude house a short time ago, and Rika-chan is here to pick one up. Did she come on her bicycle? I can't remember if it was a big enough basket. I pulled the watermelon from the well, thinking about that. The cold water of the well has refrigerated the watermelon, and the condensation makes it look delicious. 3 members of the Furude family will enjoy it for at least 2 nights. Me? Am I supposed to take it home? I thought...
What? Didn't your dad tell you?
The priest answered the phone, and I thought I told him come pick it up. Maybe I wasn't clear enough, or maybe he understood me completely. But she's here to eat the watermelon, not take it home. Besides, the small basket on Rika-chan's bicycle won't hold a watermelon. It's too dangerous for her to ride while holding it in her hands. Mion, why don't you help Rika-chama take the watermelon? There's no way she could ride her bicycle while carrying it. Me, I can hold the watermelon. No, that's too dangerous. If something happened to you, I wouldn't know what to say to Oyashiro-sama. Mion will help you.
Okay, I will. I'll go say hello to the priest, too.
No matter whether she rides her or pushes her bicycle, Rika-chan's hands will be occupied. So I'm going to carry the watermelon. The sky's turning an auburn in the sunset. The cool breeze feels good on my sandaled feet. The plastic bag I'm carrying contains the watermelon. Also contains some small bags of rock candy. If her mother finds them, she'll take them away, so we decided to eat them before we got to our home. We opened the bags and enjoyed the rock candy.
Thank you. No, they're still muted. Here, there we go. Get that.
Rika-chan is an exception. Whenever kids from our neighborhood comes to our house for errands, Granny gives them some treats. Actually, that's a pretty common rule here in Hinamizawa. It's funny, but sometimes when parents aren't watching, siblings will fight over who gets to take the particular notice to the next house over. These bags of rock candy are like tips from there. Of course, she doesn't normally give out this much. Usually it's just a little piece of it. Granny's being extra nice to Rika-chama. I feel bad getting all this candy.
Don't worry, Granny loves you. You should just thank her and put a big smile on your face, that's all.
Do you get lots of treats?
I used to, but at this age they don't give me any. If they did though, I would probably feel I was being treated like a little kid.
Meep. I'm being treated like a child then.
That's okay. Enjoy it while you can. When you become as old as me, you won't get any even if you wanted some.
So we talked about ordinary things. I noticed Rika-chan seemed a little sad.
What's wrong?
Whenever I run errands, I get candy as a treat. But Satoko doesn't get any even if she comes with me. I can think of so many reasons why. Not only Satoko, but everyone in the Hojo family is being treated poorly in Namizawa. And the Sonozaki family are the ones who instigated that. The two damn supporters had died in an accident already. But the malice against the Hojo family is still going. It's directed against Satoko and Satoshi, their children, and the aunt and uncle who are taking care of them. The big fight between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family at the explanatory meeting started all this. But that was the Hojo couple, and it shouldn't have done anything with their children and their aunt or uncle. The idea that the Hojo family are traitors evolved on its own. Therefore, anyone bearing the Hojo name is to be treated poorly. The aunt and uncle weren't damn supporters, so over time the attacks toward them should have stopped. But they were rather odd and kept having trouble with their neighbors. They don't follow the community rules, they don't do the community duties, they spray pesticide on their neighbor's lawn, while their neighbor's laundry is still hanging outside. They often get into fights with other villagers, be hated even without the dam. Therefore, the Hojo family continues to be treated poorly. But none of that should have anything to do with Satoko or Satoshi. Satoko and Satoshi are also depressed at school. I tried to leave the conflict between the two families aside, but I wonder how they really feel about all that. From their point of view, I'm just another member of the family that keeps harassing them.
I don't want any of that at school. That's why I try to be their friend while we're there.
How can we get that to extend outside too, instead of staying in the school? That'd be pretty difficult. The Hojo family made enemies of the three families. They were branded as traitors, and that's still considered the truth. It wouldn't mean anything to one if one person suggested to end the hostilities, just because the events around the dam are history now. On the contrary, that would just put them in the same position. Unfortunately for Stoko and Satoshi, the only thing they can do is wait patiently until the issue withers away. All I can do for them is provide an oasis until that day comes. So how long do they have to wait?
I don't know. The dam conflict lasted for several years. They were branded back then, so it might take years to clean up too.
Do you mean they won't be forgiven until they become adults? Will Sadoko have to live out her childhood going through that?
That's pretty miserable, isn't it?
Me? We are their friends, aren't we?
Sure, they're my friends. We're all buddies.
But isn't there something we can do to help our friends?
What exactly can we do?
Even if the Sonozaki family declares that the dam conflict is over, the Hojo family are no longer outcasts, that won't solve the problem. It's not that simple. In the first place, Granny hates the Hojo family, and won't suffer their name to be mentioned in her presence. It's not a matter of someone forgiving another. It's a matter of very complicated ties between the people in this village. It's absolutely terrifying to have them as your enemies. Everyone knows that very well, and that's why you maintain good relationships with their neighbors. However, if you make enemies out of them, you have to face the consequences. That's the unwritten law of the Japanese community. And the Sonozaki family is part of this unwritten law. Now that the Hojo family are outcasts, not even the Sonozaki family can overturn the situation. So even if it's an issue of Hinamizawa, we can't do anything about it as Hinamizawa residents?
Unfortunately, that's probably so, yeah. If there's someone who can help Satoko, that person must be someone who has nothing to do with the village. But there's no one like that here.
Are you saying someone from the outside has to come help her?
Hey,
Okay.
Keiichi.
Yep.
Basically.
Like
Mm-hmm.
Chan says, would a knight in shiny armor from the outside world ever come here? Well, we got a Keiichi instead, so... Will that person bring in a new wind into this village that's been filled with stale air for 100 of years?
With how he talks, he brings a lot of new winds, I imagine.
Yeah.
No way. That's just wishful thinking. Time will solve the problem someday. Until then, I have to be their ally. I can't think of anything else I can do for them. As Rika-chan and I crunched our raw candy, we can only pray that the people will forgive Satoko and her family sooner rather than later. Rika-chan gently broke the heavy silence. I know.
Eh?
I know someone who has absolutely nothing to do with the village will come here from the outside.
That's right. The dam conflict is over, so it'd be great if more people moved into these lots that are for sale. Wouldn't it be fun if a family with a kid our age moved in?
He will come. I know. And we'll break this evil practice alongside him. That'll be the first key to one of the 3 locks that have trapped us in the past.
Eh? What's this? Are you talking about a novel or something?
Rika-chan says some odd things sometimes. When she talks that way, she seems so mature. I even start to doubt she's really younger than I am. Unreasonable antagonism toward the Hojo family? Will there really be someone from the outside who will shatter our old traditions?
Hey. Well, it is 12:15.
I'm good to keep going. I don't got shit to do for my left for my job. My last day is Wednesday.
Hot damn. Well, yeah, Kayla, you have
I have work tomorrow,
have
however, it's
work.
only 9 p.m., so I can keep going for
Can you?
probably 45 minutes more.
Okay. And let's.
But I would like to request that
Mhm.
David takes over as narrator. My throat hurts.
No, that's absolutely fine. Let's see.
Very well.
Listen, I've been talking a lot, okay?
Let's see.
Watermelon from the Sonozaki family. We got that. The
Yeah, but
Ryugu
the other one-
family's move. Yeah.
We don't have the movie.
Red
yet.
capsule we don't have.
So shopping
Shinto priest contacting.
No,
Hojo.
no. Rock candy.
No,
Detailed test.
no,
No.
we don't have that.
Bottle of wine. No. Self-introduction of Satoka Hojo? I don't
I don't
think
think we
have.
did.
Well, try it and see.
I can, but
Nope.
was that an Ivan reminiscence?
I think
No.
this is. I think that's the one that. I think we have that one.
Hmm.
The top left in 3-7.
Wait, where? Oh, this one.
Left 3
Top left one here. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Ivan's Reminiscence is the first one we saw for Ivan.
Oh, okay.
I've wanted to become a doctor ever since I was little. Doctors make a lot of money. People look up to doctors. I think those are the kinds of reasons I had. So when I played with my friends, I was acted like a doctor. I cleaned their wounds and applied ice packs when my friends sprained their wrists or sprained their ankles using what I learned from household medical books. Everyone, including me, believed that I'd be a doctor one day. My family was poor, so they praised me for that goal. They told me that I needed to study a lot to become a doctor, so they borrowed some pseudo-medical books from the local library for me. Ah, now we get the Ivan backstory.
Mm-hmm.
The rental fees weren't cheap, so I would speed read one book in a day, and the next day, my parents would go back to the store to exchange it for a different book, saying they accidentally borrowed a book they already borrowed before. By doing so, my parents borrowed 2 books for the price of 1. Of course, now I know those books were rather useless, but they were highly motivational just the same. My neighbors called me Dr. Kyosuke, and I was always picked for class health officer at school. Even my teachers helped me with the classes I needed to take to become a doctor. Of course, in reality, becoming a doctor isn't as easy as it might seem. I had to study diligently, and the path was most definitely rough. To become a doctor, one must attend college. Since my family was poor, I was told I wasn't allowed to go to an expensive private school, so I had to be admitted to a national public university. My grades weren't bad, but the admission rate to national public universities is very marginal, especially since I wanted to go to a medical school. So sorry, my chances were even smaller. I studied like crazy. My only driving force was my childhood dream of becoming a doctor. The dream of becoming a doctor and to be looked up to by everyone kept me going. And I was admitted. I wasn't at the top of the list, but I made it in. I was finally at the starting point of making my childhood dream come true. My parents were thrilled. Neither my father nor mother went to college,
Oops, sorry.
so they were proud of their son getting into a public medical school. They invited our relatives over to celebrate. Although it was a public university, tuition wasn't cheap, but they still had an extravagant celebration anyways. My father didn't express his emotions much. He always kept a straight face. He rarely voiced his opinion nor took initiative on anything. My mother took care of me, everything, and he showed up last and left without saying a word. He was the typical stern and silent Japanese father of the time. Wow, that sounds like a great way to really fuck your kids up.
Yeah.
That's why I was surprised to see him shedding tears of joy, and I cried along with him. He went around to all my relatives while repeatedly slapping my back, saying how proud and lucky he was to have a son like me. He bragged about my achievements to all who would hear them.
The celebration became my farewell party as I was about to leave for Tokyo. My father yelled, "Banzai!"
Bonsai!
repeatedly at the station as the train pulled away. I was a little embarrassed, but when I could no longer see my father, I could clearly recall the tears pouring down. The days of hellish studying and exams began after that. Some days I was tempted to just give up and submit myself to the lavish lifestyle of the city. But the letters from my family always encouraged me and gave me the strength to go on. My dream then was to open up my own clinic in my hometown so I could contribute to the region. I never even dreamed of getting involved with brains. One day I noticed a difference in a letter from my family. The letter said the usual things about how it was at home and asked how I was doing. But the postscript was what caught my attention. Your father has become really violent lately. Sometimes he turns the house upside down and I don't know what to do. I just couldn't picture him acting viciously. I was extremely surprised. Did something happen? But in the postscript, my mother said that there was nothing she could think of. My mother and father had been together for a long time. They had been together since well before I was born. So she noticed things that I couldn't. She couldn't even think of a reason why my father had become so violent. What happened? They got along so well. They were such a lovely couple. When I caused a problem for my mother when I was little, my father only hit my head with his knuckle. Why was he acting this way towards my mother? Maybe there was some kind of misunderstanding between them. I was going home for the new year. Maybe I could have a good talk with him then. But the situation was a lot more serious than I thought. On one cold winter day, I found my apartment door unlocked. I thought someone had broken in, but I found my mother in my apartment with her luggage. That's right. My mother could no longer take my father's fury and came to stay with me. Ooh, this was back when people still believed in the proverb, a woman has no place to settle down all her life. She couldn't go back to her own family because they lived in the same region as my father, so she came all the way to Tokyo. I heard about my father's violence from my mother's own lips. She cried, saying she had no idea why such a quiet man changed like that. She said she wasn't ever going back to him. I didn't know what to do. I asked her if she could talk to him one more time, but the bruises on her body told me it was no use. To remember what happened afterwards is too much, so I'll be brief. After my mother left, my father thought she was having an affair and went over to the neighbor's house with a wooden sword. He was arrested. He was released immediately, but he assumed someone out in the neighborhood was hiding her, so he did the same thing repeatedly. He eventually reached the point of getting into fights with anyone he saw. At the end, he picked a fight with some young punks and ended up being beaten to death. My relatives gave my father a decent funeral, but my mother didn't attend. It's no use beating a dead horse. So nobody said anything negative about my father, but everyone was simply puzzled as to why he changed so much. What I heard from my relatives about my father's final days was a lot stranger than what I heard from my mother. My mother only told me about his sudden rage and emotion, but my relatives told me he also laughed and grew sad. Apparently, he displayed several sudden fluctuations of emotion, especially so in his last years. They also told me that he started to complain about headaches after an accident he had. My father was a construction worker. He had hit his head hard on a construction board during an accident at work. He regained his consciousness quickly and seemed fine, but since the accident, he started to have headaches and behave abnormally. I sensed the connection between the action and my father's changes, so I talked to my professor after I went back to Tokyo.
I can't say for certain, but it sounds like it's possible your father suffered from some kind of brain damage. There's a chance that blow to his head caused an organic mental disorder. The symptoms your father showed in his final years are similar to the delirium and mental fluctuations we've often seen in similar patients.
Human behavior is created by the brain, and if the brain is damaged, it can cause erratic behavior. In other words, my father wasn't crazy, he was suffering from a disorder.
If you can perform an autopsy on him, you should check his brain carefully. Maybe you'll find something like a tumor there.
My father had already been cremated, so there was no way of knowing. But hearing about his behavior, I knew for sure. That was the only way to explain why such a quiet and gentle man would change. I tried to explain all this to my relatives to regain my father's honor, but hardly anyone understood. If his brain was damaged, he would have been dead, but he was alive and well. So the accident didn't damage his brain. It wasn't his brain that caused him to change, it was his mind. They simply brushed it off like that. This is the perception most people have about the brain. They don't realize the brain and the mind are connected. Most of the relatives didn't believe me, but there was one person who I really wanted to anyway. That was my mother. As she got older, she grew senile, and she exaggerated the abuse she had to endure. All she did was criticize my father, and every time she ended up crying, lamenting that she married him. They were a lovely couple. We were a great family. That's why I wanted to convey to her that she was misunderstanding the situation with my father. My father's behavior was caused by his brain damage. What he did to her was very sad, but he didn't want to be that way. I told her that he wasn't at fault. But my mother didn't understand. Before she took her last breaths, I begged her to forgive my father. But her final words were, "Please don't bury me next to that man." My father wasn't at fault. He was simply the victim of a brain disorder. You don't complain to a person who's coughing because he has a cold. His coughing is just a symptom, and he should be sympathized with. In my father's case, the symptoms weren't as obvious as a cough. They took the form of changes in personality, which are much harder to recognize. If I'd studied the brain more, I could have explained it better to my mother, so that she could have understood him.
Hey there, Julian.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
Some takes
Yeah,
about
this is...
abuse. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Then they could have been a nice couple again in heaven.
Goddamn.
When I realized
Person's
that,
feet are wet.
yeah, I
Sin
cried.
denial.
Yeah. And I also realized that there are plenty of people like my father in this world who are suffering from a disorder, yet they are misunderstood and despised for it.
Oh, God.
Oh my god. And then I found out. I found out about a miraculous cure for such disorders called the lobotomy.
Acceptable in the 60s.
It was acceptable at the time.
Oh, God. I still
Ever
can't
since
believe that
that
was
time.
fucking, like... That was less than 100 years ago. This is...
Yeah.
God.
Ever since that day, I spent my days learning about the brain so I could help people who were suffering from mental illnesses. My father is gone, but if he was still alive, I could cure him myself, so he and my mother could reconcile. Like, I mean, it sounds like Ivan is about to do something terrible with this as his justification, like lobotomizing a bunch of people.
Well, I mean, you already found out that he did.
Oh, yeah. We haven't gotten the details about it, but yeah.
Yeah, but he did. He did lobotomize a bunch of people without their consent.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's the main reason why I'm here.
Last lobotomy in the USA was performed in 1967. My fucking god.
Oof.
Welcome to history. Welcome to Japanese and American History 101.
When was the
Oh,
last
God.
lobotomy in Japan, Julian?
Uh. Yeah, I don't even know.
Sometimes shit just be fucked, yo.
Yeah, she just fucked.
Like, okay, good for you,
Oh
Ivan,
wait,
for like
go back to
trying to.
Hmm?
Good for you, Ivan, for trying
about.
to, understand mental illnesses. But oh my god, you have taken every wrong path in trying to do so. You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh,
Managers.
wait, could you do
No.
the last one you were
Go.
just on?
Live
That
specimen.
one?
Is that? Did we?
I mean, I think if we try them and we
There we go.
can't,
Okay.
it'll tell us.
I was thinking,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know if we
That's-
lose them or not.
I have no fucking clue how this works. But
No.
like we tried one like the first time
That
we were
said
going
you
through
can't
these
connect
where we
it,
didn't
yeah.
have permission and it
No.
kicked us out, remember?
Yeah, it kicked us out, but now it's broken. And we haven't gone back to it
Oh.
yet. So I don't know if we can. I guess we figure out once we get the pieces necessary for that one.
Yeah. I was half asleep, so I didn't even hear the phone ringing nearby. After a while, I finally realized the phone was ringing, and a ringing phone means there's some kind of an emergency. It's 2 in the morning. Who would even call me at this time of night? Hello, this is Ivan.
Sorry to bother you, Dr. Ivan. Oh, sorry to bother you, Dr. Ivan.
It's Creepy-san. She's never called me for a personal reason. At the Institute, she's ranked just below me, so she's basically responsible for running it. So for her to call me this late at night, it must be an emergency. Yeah. Sorry it took me so long. Is it true that we have another terminal patient?
Yes. I was hoping to find a living specimen, so this is perfect.
I initially thought that she'd abducted someone.
Oh, God.
I thought that they were about to start beating him up from that
Oh,
sound.
I thought he was just thrown. Holy shit.
The man had
yeah.
already been moved to the research area in the clinic's basement, having been tied down to the examination table. Oh, he's struggling, but he was struggling against his restraints, but more as though he's deranged than actually resisting. I can't even understand what he's saying. He sounds angry, sorrowful, and like a child throwing a tantrum all at once. It's obvious that he's not in the right state of mind.
Anyway, let's put him
Anyway.
under... Oh, wait, I don't know who's...
I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
that's-
no, that was Ivan. You're right. Sorry.
Anyway, let's put him under anesthesia. He might kill himself otherwise.
I wanted to observe him a little longer, but I guess I have no other choice.
One of the staff with a white gown got the anesthesia ready. Even a normal person would struggle to escape a restraining table in this suspicious room. But this man's behavior is at an abnormal level. I'm sure Okanogi and his friends from the Mountain Dogs are the ones who captured him. Capturing a man in this state of mind couldn't have been an easy task. According to Creepy, she ran into this patient on her way home from the clinic by accident.
Mm.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
She brought him back here, tested him, and the result came back positive. Of course, I have no intention of just believing what she's telling me, but there is no question that this man is at the terminal stage, and a live specimen is exactly what we need to research the syndrome. Who is this man, anyway?
He had something wrapped in newspaper. What do you think was in it? Oh.
Oh?
Oh, what is this? There's something wrapped in a bloody newspaper on the tray nearby. Oh, I guess this is where the right arm went, huh?
Mhm.
Huh?
Looking at the blood-drenched paper, I can only imagine there's something gruesome inside of it. Your creepy son looked like she wanted to surprise me with something interesting. Yeah, that tracks.
Mm.
Oh, God, this is awful. It's a bloody right arm. Hey! The man on the table still has his. This right arm doesn't belong to him.
I guess this is
I mean, he
another
was
mystery
carrying
we
it
didn't have
around.
solved.
So who does it belong to? Well, I guess this is the last part of the construction manager, right? Because
Mhm.
they found all the other parts of him, I thought.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I'm used to
And
looking
one
at
of them
things like
went
this.
missing.
Yeah, that's true. As a doctor. But the horrible cross-section makes me want to look away. It wasn't done according to a medically acceptable method, that's for sure. It was obviously done out of cruelty.
Judging by the situation, we can assume this man cut off this arm.
So he's the culprit behind the body dumping that's been occurring in the neighborhood. At that point, there was no way of knowing who the right arm belonged to. But the next morning, the dismemberment murder of the damn... Hey! It's actually the damn construction site at the end. Director was reported, and they mentioned that his right arm was still missing, so we learned who the arm belonged to.
This man has a criminal record and he's on probation. Yet he committed another crime. I bet he dismantled the body in order to hide it.
I'm sure it depends on the circumstances, but he'll get more than just a few years in prison.
So you won't hesitate to dissect a scumbag like him, right?
Who knows? Maybe he was a scumbag before and became violent due to the syndrome. Or maybe he had gone straight, but became violent again due to the syndrome. The former is one thing, but if it's the latter case, it's not his fault. That's why Hinamizawa syndrome is so terrifying. We can't tell if the syndrome is the cause of the crime or if it's simply a problem of human nature. But what causes a defect of human nature in the first place? Oh,
Yeah.
that's a statement to unpack. That was precisely Ivan's area of research. Hate the crime, not the criminal. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. There's even more to unpack with that one, maybe.
This is why I'm drinking mead tonight.
Yeah, fuck. Can criminals only be corrected by punishing them with imprisonment? If a person commits a crime because of a mental disorder, but then gets a treatment, he is corrected. Okay, this is not a terrible take, but that specific part of it is not a terrible take.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's a whole lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
In other words, there are no crimes in this world, only patients awaiting treatment without anyone else being able to understand. How did those two things fall out, Ivan, you fucking psychopath? In medieval times, patients with mental disorders were said to be possessed by demons, and they were either confined or killed. Centuries after, they were finally acknowledged as mentally ill people who needed treatment. Perception can change with time. Even if they're called criminals now, maybe after several centuries, those criminals will be acknowledged as patients who were entitled to appropriate treatment. Explaining crimes through illness instead of malice. That's my life's work.
Oh my.
Medical community by and large was needle lobotomies were bunk. It was pushed by a few quacks. It's a story. The worst person you know just had a point. Yeah, right. Not even the worst person we know. Like the third worst person we know in this story.
God. Yeah, the worst person. Who do we take as the worst person in this story? Takano?
Like at the moment, Takano.
Yeah. Takano
Okanogi.
or Shion.
No, Shion.
Oh, Mion Shion.
Wow, how is Mion and Shion the worst?
No, just look, Shion, who's actually Mion, aka Shion. I don't know. That's what's confusing.
It is very
When-
confusing to figure out which name to refer to
Shion,
them by.
the one who we usually know
Who
as
went
Shion.
crazy? Yeah.
Yeah, she went fucking wild during her arc.
Yeah, she was fucking. She literally was under the. Hinamizawa syndrome.
I mean, yes, but still, she can still be a worse person, even if it's under the syndrome. Though
Like, the
I
worst
would say
person ever be
Takano
totally
is
Takano because she is not
definitely-
under the syndrome, or at
Yes.
least like.
Well,
Not
Or at
as
least
far as
wasn't when
we
she
know.
started. Yeah,
that we know of yet.
She could be, but who the fuck knows?
it could be.
I mean, if it is, it's taken a long time to get to the fatal stage for her, because this, has been going for
Yeah.
at least what 10 years, 6
Yeah.
years.
I mean, I guess she was talking with Hanyu earlier. Normally,
Mhm.
sane people cannot do that, but
Yeah.
Hinamizawa syndrome is a strange disease that can support my theory.
Mhm.
Solving its mysteries is extremely important to me. To solve those mysteries, I need a medical sacrifice.
Oh my god.
It's an extremely sinful thing to do, but there's no way to unravel this without it. The Ivan Institute was authorized to take such drastic measures if necessary. That's why I was asked about it so many times when I accepted the position of director. And finally, the opportunity is here. This will be the first step of our research on this strange disease. But even now, I am a little hesitant. I've opened up human bodies in many surgeries. What I'll be doing on this man is something very similar. But there's also something that's very different. What I did before was part of treatment. I did it to save the patients' lives. I did it so the patients could have a better future. But what I'm trying to do here isn't treatment. He will die at the end of it. His death will be far from humane. I'm going to violate nature and force him to stay alive while I open up his living brain.
Director Ivan, are you listening?
Sorry. Could you repeat that?
I believe it's best that we submit the dissection proposal to Tokyo and request their assistance. He's not only alive, he's also in the terminal stage, so he's an extremely important specimen. We must conduct the dissection very carefully.
It's true. You're right. Let's do as you say.
I think we'll have a few days before the dissection, so I want to run some reaction tests once he's off the anesthetic.
You think that's safe? Even if he's restrained, we don't know what will happen.
We finally had the opportunity to test a live specimen. We can't only look into his brain.
Creepy Sun's unusual cheerfulness made me feel odd. Maybe her reaction is normal. Maybe I'm the one who's not reacting. No, neither of you are reacting
no.
normally, you fucking crazy people.
Yeah.
Who's not
Realize-
reacting normally in this situation.
I guess some of the worst, the people from the orphanage. I'll put them up high
Oh.
there, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, solid
Yeah.
choice.
Mm.
I'm here only for the research. So I should be excited to have the opportunity to perform our first live dissection. But I'm still hesitant. How can I call myself a researcher? Researchers of the past were brave enough to cross the line, and that's how they accomplished many things.
No. No.
Japan, no.
Stop.
Mhm.
Stop it.
I've seen many brains. I've operated on them. I've lost some patients too. But I never thought anything of it because I knew I did the right thing. Even when my hard work was denied afterwards.
Mm.
If it pained me to think of that, then I just needed to advance the field of medicine to ensure their deaths weren't wasted. That's the true form of those advancing the field of medicine.
Hmm.
Yet, why was my heart tormented so much just by changing the name from treatment to dissection? Does that mean I'm not man enough to emulate those great men of the past who opened the doors to new medicine? That I don't have. Oh my god.
Why?
Stop. Ivan. Ivan.
Uh,
The
No.
more we delve into Ivan, the worse it
What?
gets.
yeah.
I liked him as like a goofy, sort of perverted like guy. Like no.
No, even when you fucking juxtapose that with his creepy maid worshipping ass, that's even
Yeah.
worse.
Oh. I mean, oh god. I didn't think of. Oh
What's even
god.
worse is that despite his fucking maid bullshit, Ivan was probably the most supportive and helpful adult in Hinamizawa.
Yeah.
And now we get
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Good job, Ryukishi.
Yeah.
You've written something extremely
No, no,
fucked
no.
up.
I think the most supportive one that hasn't been terrible has been the teacher.
Fair.
Right.
Probably toss up between her and Ivan.
Yeah. But she
Yeah.
doesn't have the bad side to it besides the fact that she backed down a
That we
little bit.
know of. That we know
No,
of.
but we're at the end of the game and we haven't heard her weird bullshit, so I think we're okay.
We have many more fragments to go, okay?
That's
God,
true.
we have so many more to go.
Hey, what's the matter, Director? Are you feeling okay?
Creepy is pretending to be concerned about me, but she knows. She knows I'm still hesitating. And she's telling me that I should be ashamed as a researcher for feeling that way. I shook my head to clear it of sleepiness. Remember the resolve that brought me here to this day. I already have blood on my hands. But if I stop now, their lives will be wasted. Those who shed their blood can only rest in peace once they've become the cornerstones of great research.
Wow.
I shook my head once more and reminded myself that I'm a researcher. No, I was just thinking. Creepy-san, please make some arrangement with Tokyo and let me know when it's done.
Okay, understood. This is really exciting.
The least I can do is my best, so his life won't be wasted. If he bleeds, I can't waste even a drop of his blood. After scolding my staff for their indiscretion of discussing the dissection with such excitement, I returned to my office.
Oh my god.
Damn.
I think that was gonna be my last one, but god damn.
I mean, I don't
God
think
damn.
they're really getting... I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure these are only getting worse, not
Yeah,
better.
they're definitely getting worse.
Yeah. Where's... Though, I mean, I guess we should be done for the night then. You need to get to work, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have work in the morning.
Yeah, so let's end it there.
Alright.
Did you save? Is that a thing?
There's a
Save.
save
There we go.
here.
Oh, thank God.
Connecting fragments. There we go. Save. All right. Double tap, just in case.
Double save.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. This is going to be a long haul, isn't it? Of just going back and forth and figuring out all the shit in order to create the best 1983, the best fucking Hinamizawa 1983 we possibly can with all this terrible stuff that's being thrown at us.
So judging from the explanation we got from the welcome to Higurashi screen, I don't think we can lose fragments. But Flint, as the only one of us who can't be spoiled by this, you should probably check that before we play this again.
I will check. Yeah, I will check. Sounds good. Famous last words, yeah. But, are we good for next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Then I guess we will continue on connecting all these fragments next week. Otherwise, I believe I should be back on Tuesday for, Lying Fork. We'll see how that goes. I'm on RP lock for a week. At least for one, so I'll probably bring in other characters. But yeah. Until then, let me see. Who can I send y'all to? Who is streaming nonsense or doing what tonight? You know what? I don't think I've ever gotten the chance to raid Nikki. So I will do that. Hell yeah. A cool role player, Nikinta Demoness. Send them some love. Is that? And again, thank you, David. Thank you, Kayla.
Of course.
Of course.
Hope you're at least enjoying, even though it's not like the happiest of stories.
Oh my goodness.
It's definitely enjoyable.
We're so close to the end.
We are.
Oh.
I'm so hyped for
Yeah, see you later, guys.
to see all of this finally wrap and see how it ends.
Hell yeah. How you going? All right. You all have a wonderful night. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye.
I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice.